So this is going to be very hard for me to get through. I don't know if I should be sharing it or not because it's a personal thing, and I do run a drug YouTube, a harm reduction thing, so it's kind of contradictory for me to like talk about what I'm about to talk about. But I just want to let you guys know because it's a very personal thing. I was going to just make a second channel video on it, but I figured the podcast would probably be the best for addressing it. So I was hospitalized the other night. I went there myself. I went to the emergency room because I was I was having terrible withdrawal symptoms from Kratom. Now, if you guys don't know what Kratom is a drug, a plant you can buy at any kind of head shop. They even sell it in gas stations. And you can buy these extracts for it, which are just crazy amounts of kratom and some Mitragyna speciosa, or well, however you pronounce it. I don't even know. That's how I pronounce it because I don't care. But thank you. Yeah, we support you. Dude has such a great podcast voice. I appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys are here, yeah, I'm just going to continue going on. I said, like, I didn't want to go to the hospital. I had talked to my psychiatrist about it. This is why it's like too personal because I'm getting really personal. But I've gone to this far. I'm not going to stop. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm not going to like commit suicide or anything. But I did have feelings of where I wanted to. I didn't want to commit suicide, actually. I just wanted to not die. I just didn't want to I don't want to live anymore. You know, I just did not care. If something would have had to happen where like a tragic accident or like someone broke into my house or something and decided to kill me. Going on the plane to Utah, I wanted it to crash, but I only wanted myself to die. Like I don't want anyone else to be hurt. I don't want anyone else to be hurt during this, but I just wanted to feel like I wanted to just crash on that plane and just be gone forever. It's getting bad. I stopped. I stopped in the early days of June, so it's been almost 4 weeks since I've been clean off of kratom, and I've been about how long since the shrooms? Like a week. I've been clean off of that. The only thing I've been doing has been my prescriptions that I take from my doctor, my Lexapro and my Abilify, and then the Vyvanse, and then alcohol and caffeine. That's what I made a promise to God up above. I said that's what I would do to be safe, try to make a deal with him that like I would never do these things again. I don't know if I'm going to take a break from the shrooms or whatnot, or if it's going to be a permanent thing, because the last 3 times I've been doing the shrooms, especially with the long legs day, that's when it really negatively affected me, and I just couldn't and when I did them in Utah, I did all this in the same day. I did ketamine, I did 2CB, and shrooms, and I also drank a little bit. Like I drank half a beer until I looked up that ketamine and alcohol is like a terrible combination. So I'm like, okay, that's not a good idea. Because the ketamine trip, I felt like I was gonna die. It made me feel but I was scared. That's the thing. Like that was after I wanted the plane to crash, and I was still scared to die. So like I really when you come that close to death, like you don't really want to. That's why I could never like fully do it myself, because it's just like it's such a hard thing to do. But like, you know, crashing your car would feel like an easier thing to do. Like crashing into a barrier at like 60 miles an hour or something could be something. But you know, just like actually like hurting yourself on purpose is like very hard to do. You got to be in a really bad mindset for yourself to do that. And me and my friend did this thing where we like hit our thighs really hard, like we punch them, but like that was as a joke. And after we watched Jackass, we started doing Jackass things, so it's like slapping ourselves with rulers and stuff, and stabbing ourselves with like not like hard, but like, you know, just doing stupid shit like that. But yeah, no, the 2CB didn't really affect me, but the ketamine really did. Ketamine, yeah, like I didn't do that much alcohol with that. I only drank half a beer. That's why I was like, it wasn't too much. We support you, Trip Homie. Oh wow, thoughts and prayers, brothers. Thank you. It's the post office, bro. Our contract's still not here. Yeah, we should be getting our more money pretty soon. But yeah, the post office was one of the main reasons why I was doing kratom. It helped me get through the day. But yeah, no, I felt like I was going to die on the ketamine. And that was the time where I sat in my bed at the hotel and I was like, listen, God, I will stop doing every single drug if you get me through this night. Because I was seriously like, I had to keep on getting up. The restlessness from Kratom withdrawals is really horrible. If you guys have never experienced restlessness, good luck for you guys, because that is something I've never experienced before until these past couple weeks, and they have been fucking horrible. You just can't get comfortable. Everywhere you sit, like, you just want to get up and move. That's why the plane, like, I wanted something exciting to happen. I just wanted to like crash so I can actually like do something, get off the plane. That's like another reason why it happened. And when the turbulence actually happened on the plane, I actually was having a great time. People are usually terrified of turbulence, but I was like, woo, woo, yeah. I felt like a fucking awesome roller coaster when I was on it. But yeah, sorry you're going through that. Sending you positive vibes. You got this, man. Thank you. Or vibes. Did I say vibes? Never took case. Sounds scary. Yeah, no, I don't recommend it. I don't know how British people do it all the time. British people are fucking insane. That's like their kind of weed over there. But back into the Kratom. I've been taking it for a couple years now, and this is where the problem was. I was doing anywhere, for the past year and a half, I was probably doing anywhere from 45 to 70 grams per day. That sounds like a lot to do, like a 70, like it is a lot, but I wasn't doing like the pure capsules, like the 1 gram capsules or half a gram, like doing 140 of those per day. I was taking the extracts, which were equivalent, like the OPMS golds. I didn't really like the OPMS blacks because the OPMS black one wasn't really as strong as the OPMS gold, but the OPMS gold had 10 grams equivalent in there. That's what I read, at least. I believe it too. And then I would do a couple grams on top of that with the capsules that I had. So I would do that like 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. It became to the point like where the last year I was doing 3 doses a day. But before that I was doing 2, and it wasn't as bad and it wasn't like as horrible for me. But like when I first started doing it, I was doing 7 grams per day. And that was okay for me. I feel like you can probably survive off of that. But the point where I was doing 50, 45 to 70 grams per day, that's a lot. And what really got me were the extracts. And I'll get into what specific extract got me really to like throw me off the bus to the point where I had to throw away everything. Yeah. Poor Bud, been on Suboxone for 10 years and feel your pain. The depression is bad sometimes. Death seems like warm slippers and a nice bed, but we are here for a reason to get closer to God. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree. Ketamine is good for just chilling, watching TV or something. Yeah, but when I did it, I could not chill. That's the problem. I did not chill from it. I did not feel any sedative effects or anesthetic effects from it. I just felt like I was going to die. My heart started racing really fast, and I felt like my whole body started sweating, kind of like the DMT, but I knew the DMT was crazy already, so I knew that wasn't going to be like bad. But yeah, I knew it would end quickly, but the ketamine, I had no idea what would happen on it, so that's why I got fucking freaked out, and it kind of caused me a panic attack. So yeah. So before, when I was doing these extracts, before I started doing them, actually, I used to do them every once in a while, and I wasn't doing them all the time. Like maybe once every like week or 2 weeks, I would buy an OPMS Gold 5-pack, and I would do them with my normal Kratom, and then I would be like, that would be good, and then I would just stop them, and then I would just continue doing the regular Kratom capsules, like the 0.5 capsules or the 1 gram jumbo capsules, and I would do that. But then when it became like an every dose thing, I started doing it, with the OPMS, like I said, the 10 grams of Kratom, and then I would take like another 5 to 7 grams of the jumbo 1 gram Kratom powder capsules. There's a lot that you can buy out there. There's so many different types of Kratom. And yeah, I was doing this for over like a year and a half. Doing it every day, doing 3 doses a day pretty much. So that's probably like that's 15 to 17 grams total of Kratom per dose. So that's like around 45 to 51 grams per day. So that's when it was like, it was still bad, but it wasn't as bad to what I got next. So I was doing that for a year and a half. And I was still feeling bad. Kratom really... the problem with Kratom is that it takes over your soul and you don't even know it. Like you know it, like you know that, because I started taking it, for work and everything. And it was actually really fun a lot of the times. But then when it started becoming to the point where I was taking it just to feel normal, that's when I knew I had a problem. And then when I tried to cold turkey off of it before, I could barely do it for a couple days. The longest I did it before now was a week long, and it felt like I was gonna die those whole times. I was taking Advils to feel something. That's how bad it got. Right now, I've been taking just what I have. I've been, trying to. I've been drinking a little bit more than I have been usually, just so I can like feel something, but not as much. Don't worry about the drinking because it's not a problem, at least not yet. Hopefully, it doesn't become anything. But yeah, no. Right now, it's not too bad. Just drinking beers every couple of days. That's what I was doing normally with Kratom and everything. But what was I saying? So yeah, I was taking like 45 to 50, 51 for work. I would take it in the morning before work. Then I would eat my lunch early in the morning because I get very hungry. And then I would take my next dose like around 12 to 1 o'clock, around there. And then I would get home, I would eat my food, and then probably around 6:30, anywhere from 6:30 to 8, I would take the next Kratom dose. And then my last dose would always be my smallest one. It would probably be like the Kratom extract plus the 4 grams, because I was usually, like I said, I was doing 5 to 7 extra grams on top of it, but I was probably doing like 3 to 4 grams extra on the last dose because I didn't want to like overdo it since I was at home and I didn't have to work. Like at work, it was helping me get through. I had with these withdrawals, I had a lot of back pain from it, and that really masked the pain. Like I know this other guy I'm friends with, he's becoming a good friend now. He's going through the same shit. I don't know if I think he stopped it with me, like we're stopping around the same time because he had the same problem. And he was going to the same head shops, doing the same thing. And yeah, but he went back on it after a couple days, and then now I think he's off of it again. He also has ADHD, so he gets Adderall, and that helps. Like getting these things help a lot for sure, because it makes me focus more, makes me focus better. But yeah, just dropped in what we talked about. We're talking about my Kratom withdrawal story. So yeah, if you want to listen to the full thing, it'll be out. But yeah, you have to be disciplined, motherfucker, to stay on a routine and and keep it the same. Yeah, I've definitely become more disciplined, holding back and taking this Kratom now. Like going almost tomorrow will be 4 weeks that I haven't taken it. It's been very hard just stopping at a 70 gram per day dose or around close to it, just full on stopping. Like that's crazy to do, but that's the best way to do it. I think you're gonna suffer a lot more, but I figured if you wean or taper off, it's not gonna be as effective, because you're still doing it, and then you're gonna be like, well, I can take this, but I'll just do a higher dose this time just because. But no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to. I don't think tapering off is a good idea unless you can actually fucking do it for some reason. But I don't think tapering off is a good idea because you're gonna get right back on it. Because when I tried tapering off, I just went right back to it. I remember I stopped. Last time I stopped before this was right when I hit 100,000 subscribers. I had to stop for like a couple days. I remember my last time I stopped, and then I went back to it. I was going lower and lower with doses each time, and then I finally stopped, and then I went back again like 3 days after. 3 days after I stopped. You start bargaining with yourself. Yeah, that's true. It's really tough. Let's get to 40 people in here. Come on, let's share this. We're talking about something deeply personal to me. I think this is not easy for me to talk about because I do run a harm reduction channel, but I just want you guys I want to be upfront with you guys about it because I don't want to like lie about why I'm not like this is the main reason why I have been uploading a lot. I haven't really been having the energy to do anything. My back will start hurting like crazy. I won't want to fucking edit anything, and it's just really hard. That's why I'm probably gonna be doing 1 video a week for now. I'll have to do the compilation video though. That'll be an extra video, but that won't really count as one. But yeah, no, I haven't really had the energy to do it. Haven't really had the energy to do a second channel video, even though I just got one out today. I figured it's Sunday. I might as well just do it because I got nothing better to do today. So that's why I did it. And then I wanted to do this podcast so I can talk about this specifically. So yeah, anyways, I was doing the OPMS shit, the 10 grams basically with the other 5 to 7 grams. So that was like 15 to 17 grams a dose. And then they came out with these new things called ohms, and it came in a blue package with 3 circular pills inside. They're like not like small tablets, they were pretty big, and they are terrifying from how strong they are. You tear one in half and it'll be equivalent to an OPMS extract pill. So they came in packages of 3, and half of one was equivalent to an extract of the OPMS. So you were actually getting more bang for your buck with these if you ripped them in half. So that's what I started doing. I started ripping them in half and taking them, and I was like, okay, I feel pretty good. I feel actually like more. When I did that at first, for the first couple, like maybe week or 2 maybe, but then when the real problem started is when I started taking the whole thing. So anywhere from probably close to 20 grams of kratom, and then plus I was doing another 4 to 5 more grams from the regular capsules added on top. The jumbo capsules, like I said, I wasn't doing as much as like the 5 to 7, but 4 to 5 around there was a good dose for me to do with that, and I would feel high as a motherfucker. I would feel so good. All my pain would go away. I would feel like amazing. Plus mixing it with the Vyvanse, shrooms, I felt just completely on top of the world. But then when you came down and you didn't have it, you just felt like you just want to do more and more, and that's where the problem starts. So basically my routine, once that happened, I would do that twice a day. So I would do the ohms stuff, the 20 grams plus the 4 to 5 grams of the regular capsules. And then at night, most of the time, I would do the OPMS dose, but it would be with less of the jumbo caps than before, like probably like 3 to 4 grams, like my normal night dose would have been. So that was about 14 grams plus the 20. So 25 plus 25, 50, 64. So it's probably anywhere from 60 to 70 grams per day I was doing. It really depended. I don't think it ever got up to 70, but it was definitely in the 60s for sure. Thank you for being honest with us, homie. No problem. The Addy and alcohol, etc., are just upping your dopamine withdrawal. Is when you're in dopamine deficit. Takes like a good month or 2 for your synapses to start growing back. Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Also, sneezing is a very weird side effect of kratom withdrawal. I've been sneezing a lot. Luckily, the past couple days I haven't really. Like it's almost kind of fun to sneeze. It feels kind of good. But when you're sneezing like 20 times a day, it's a different story. And yeah, if you look it up, there's a subreddit where it talks about it. So yeah. And then another problem that I had was that I would take that and then I would drink with it. I remember the first time I drank with kratom, and I also drink with phenibut. I also threw out the phenibut. I stopped doing that. I had a whole bunch left, but once I stopped doing the kratom, that's when I stopped doing the phenibut. I wasn't even doing it anyway. I just had it in my book bag, but I wasn't doing it. I did it probably 2 or 3 times when I bought that last one, and yeah, so that wasn't a lot. But I threw that away. I won't ever do that again because that's another problem in itself that it causes many issues. But yeah, I would also drink while on it, and the drinking mixing with the kratom would just feel fucking, it would feel amazing. It would feel like you're on some sort of just strong ass opioid. I've only done one opioid in my life, Vicodin, once in high school, but that's it. That's the only experience I have with it, so I can't really compare it. And I don't want to compare it because I don't ever want to do anything else. Like, I'm just trying to stay clean, and yeah. Have you ever done acid? Of course, yes, I've done acid. Watery eyes too. Yeah, I get a lot of watery eyes, especially when I yawn, like, oh my God, and the tiredness. But yeah, the drinking would become a problem though, because it's just not a good idea to mix any drug with alcohol. But kratom is seen as more of a safer thing to do than other things, which technically it is. If you look at it that way, it's definitely more safer than like a fentanyl or anything. But like, for people who aren't on drugs already, like who aren't already being addicted to stuff like that, it is not safe for anyone to take like that. If you are a sober person, or if you're like experiencing in psychedelics or whatever, and you want to take kratom just to feel good, that's where the problem lies, and that's where the problem can start. And I see a lot of people who say kratom doesn't do anything to them, and I don't see how people get addicted to them. And people should really not take that for granted. Like, people think we have some sort of like low tolerances to drugs, that we can't experience a kratom high. But a kratom high is subtle, but it works. And that's the real problem with kratom, is that it works, and that I know if I took it right now, I would feel so much better. But I have that self-control. I made a deal that I would never do it again, and I made it to the point where it's been almost 4 weeks now, and I will never ever do it again, because I know if I do, problems will restart, and there'll be other problems along the way, and it only cause more. Because if it's already caused this much, and I've been on it for that long, and it's caused this much, then like, you know, what would happen if I went back on it and I just got back? Like, of course, the first day would be like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I feel like just like you feel like on top of the world. But after the first couple days, you'd start to go back to your normal being, you know, just trying to take it to feel normal self. And that's where the issue lies with it. It is a very, very subtle but intense drug if you get addicted to it. It just creeps up on you, man. It's not something I recommend at all. It is definitely something you need to stay away from, and I will never, ever promote it again. It's going good. Thank you, Boopy. I'll never, ever do it again. And yeah, so the reason I wrote down how much more stuff. I probably have a lot to say about this, because this has been taking over my life for the past couple years. Let's see here. Let's see what people are saying. Oh boy, we got a lot of comments. What's it like working for the Postal Service? Was the entry test somewhat easy? I think you have to get at least 80% to be considered a candidate. Yeah, I really don't remember what it was like. I know I passed it, of course, but yeah, it was asking some normal questions, I guess. But also, if you apply, there's a fake website that says you need to take this test before you apply, and that's a scam. They just take your money for a practice test. That's not real. The only test they're going to give you is from the actual post office, so don't do that. Kratom, it's spelled Kratom, you Kratom. What Phenibut like? Phenibut is like you're on alcohol, but you're like controlling of yourself, but you're also not controlling yourself. Like you like lose control of yourself, but you also feel conscious. It's like really weird, and it makes you feel more sociable. Music sounds better and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm on Kratom right now. Maybe make it your last dose, please. I remember saying I wanted to try it and everyone telling me not to. Good for them for saying not to. Yeah, that's a good idea. People telling you not to, that's what I'm going to get into next, about why I got into it in the first place. I was just in Mexico. They were advertising Kratom in every gas station / corner drugstore. That was making me wonder what it felt like. Yeah, no, Mexico is different. I mean, can't you just walk in the store and buy a fucking Vicodin if you want? I used to use it every once in a blue moon if I needed to be more productive. Yeah, that's how I wish I could use it, because then I don't think it's as bad. But when you're doing it every day, like getting up to how much I was, then it's bad. Is it considered similar to cocaine? No, it's more similar to like a caffeine type of thing, but it's like not. It's definitely way strong. Like caffeine has you make that feel. If you do too much, you feel too jittery. If you do too much of Kratom, you feel like you're actually like high as fuck. But if you do like cocaine, I can't really compare the effects. I haven't done cocaine too much, but I know it's not like the stimulant effects, maybe a little bit, just a tad bit, but cocaine is just really overstimulating. But Kratom can be just a good amount of stimulant. That's why it's so like bad for you, because it's like it doesn't affect the way you drive, it doesn't affect the way you focus, it doesn't affect the way you like. I mean, it improves moods and stuff. It improves your focus, I think. It makes you want to do things more. It makes you more energetic. Well, some strains make you more sleepy and everything, but that's the problem with it. It can, like, you could take it and be fine in the real world. Like, you won't have to be like, oh, that person's on drugs, that person's on Kratom. Like, no one really knows what Kratom is in the regular fields. Like, everyone knows what opioids are, everyone knows what fentanyl is, and everyone knows that you're on fentanyl, you're on meth, you're on crack, you're on cocaine. Everyone knows that you are. But like when you're on Kratom, you can keep it a private addiction. Like, no one knew about it. I just told my friend about it because I had to, and I needed someone to know. I told another person as well, and I'm glad I'm getting people like, oh, I'm telling you guys now. But yeah, so it's just, that's the problem with it. That's why people, like, if you don't have an issue with it already, like if you don't want to fuck with it already, keep it that way. Don't let anyone tell you to try it. Like, from this podcast, I'm telling you guys, if you're ever offered it, do not fucking do it unless you are on fentanyl, heroin, meth, or whatever, and you're trying to get off of that. Only reason I would promote it would be for that. I would not want to promote it to anyone who is doing regular recreational usage of it, because it'll creep up on you. You might not like it at first. Shit, you might stop it, but you might come back. That's what I did when I first did. I took it, and I was like, okay, I feel pretty good, and then I stopped, and I went back to it. And that's where the problem lies. It's just it creeps up on you. It does its stupid effects. It makes you feel good. It makes you, it like puts on a facade for your life. It just makes you see reality as like what it should be, when in reality you should not be doing it. I wouldn't say it's similar to hydrocodone. I think it has a stimulant effect too. I think it's more stimulant, because I think it's just like, it's really hard to describe what it's like. I know someone who uses it as an alternative to cocaine. That's what I don't mind that, because it's at least you're not doing cocaine, right? What we talk about, I walked away on the doses. I understand now, thanks. It's a clandestine substance. Yes, it is. So the reason I took Kratom in the first place was because a quote-unquote friend pressured me into trying it. Now, pressured, really weird word. I don't know if it was pressured is the right word, but basically he was taking it all the time. He would always do it every day, and like it made me like it. What he was doing, he would mix it with water bottles, and it would make me feel kind of gross, like just seeing him drink it every time. Like it just looked really nasty. But then the capsules I saw, so he made me try it, and I remember the first time I was just like amazing time. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, this is what Kratom is. No wonder he's fucking addicted to it. But yeah, he just like he always asked me to try it. So I guess it was pressuring me. So yeah, I think he really was a pressure. That's the right word for it. But then I slowly got addicted to it because it was nice at work. Like work made me feel better. It would make my problems go away until it didn't. And then it got to the point where I was feeling it, taking it just to feel normal. That's the point where you know you have a problem. And that's the thing. I knew I had a problem. I just didn't want to stop because I didn't know what life was like without it. I just knew the reason I stopped was because I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, I look like fucking shit right now. My eyes are droopy. I got like bags under them. My skin is fucking, my face is just like, there's a ripple in it. Like I just felt like I looked bad, looked swollen a little bit, and that's another reason why I needed to stop. But yeah, no, it affects you physically for sure. Luckily I never got like negative side effects. Like I never got like jaundice or anything from it, which can happen to people. People have very but usually with the liver problems with Kratom, that usually happens right away. So if you're taking it for like a couple weeks and nothing's happening, then you won't have any liver problems, unless, I mean, maybe if you took like a whole bunch every single day. Like people are doing up to 150 grams per day, which is just crazy to me. But like it's not that crazy because I know how bad it can get. But yeah. Just trying to switch back and forth to see if anyone's saying anything so I can address it. But so yeah, earlier this month I stopped taking it cold turkey. Like I said, I've done cold turkey in the past, but I've always come back to it. This time though, I was for sure that I would never do it again. I've had a lot of self-control along with this, with my gambling issues I had earlier this year and late last year. I've stopped all those urges. I stopped gambling in February. I made another deal that I would stop. And I haven't gambled. I actually had to pull out of this fantasy football thing, even though fantasy football like regularly is not considered gambling. But with money prizes, like you have to worry about, it's a lot of skill. It's mostly skill, but there's also luck that goes into gambling with the fantasy football. Like you got to worry about injuries and how people will play. Like you can't always be for sure. Like unless you know for sure, then it's not gambling, but it is gambling. And I had to pull out. I felt really bad because we already like got everything ready and stuff. But yeah, I had to stop because when they asked me to do it, I wasn't really thinking about my gambling deal. Did I say milligrams? 150 milligrams would not do anything. It would just be like, unless you're talking about 150 grams, then that would be a lot. That would be a lot. What's the worst drug you've taken? Worst drug I've taken was probably cocaine. I hated it. I hated everything about it. I never want to do it again. Maybe ketamine now. Anything I have to snort, I fucking can't stand. I don't like snorting things. Ketamine might be worse than cocaine for me, because I actually had, I didn't feel like I wanted to die on the cocaine, at least. But yeah, so ketamine, probably the worst. Yeah, ketamine's the worst. But yeah, no, I had a lot of gambling urges back. It became a problem. I was going once, sometimes even twice a week to gambling casinos. Gambling casinos, yeah. Xanax also up there for me. That's a top 3 for sure. That might be number 2 actually. And then DPH. Oh man, there's so many bad ones. Yeah, I don't know. Xanax, DPH, ketamine. Those are my least favorite ones, I think. But yeah, no, I was gambling a lot, wasting a lot of my money. But then there was times where I was winning money, and it was a lot of fun. Excuse me, guys. I have to message this person. Boop, boop, boop. 347. We're on here. Yeah, no, 150 grams is a lot. That is just. I was doing 60, and that was 3 doses per day. So if you're doing 150 grams, you're probably doing 4 to 5 doses a day. At like, that's going to cost you a lot. You're probably doing a lot of those extracts for sure. I think if you're doing like, let's say you did 2 of the extracts of the Ohm stuff, the one that was 20 grams, you do that twice in the morning, that's 40 grams. And then you do it again in the afternoon, maybe again before afternoon, so that's 80, so that's twice. And then you do it again in the afternoon, that's 120, and then you do it again, that's like 160. So yeah, people, like, if you do those extracts, that can lead you, like, the extracts are a lot easier because you only have to take 1 of them. But if you're taking like capsules, if you're taking kratom powder, if you're putting powder into water, that can also be easy to dose, but it tastes also terrible. With the extracts, you don't have to taste it. I mean, you can taste a little bit, but it doesn't taste bad. Some of the capsules, the powder gets on the outside of the capsule and you kind of taste it, but yeah. Anyone here tried pregabalin? It feels very similar to phenibut. Yeah, I've tried it before. That's the first drug I ever did, actually, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was watching a video by a drug YouTuber named Goblin. Yeah, he's very popular around here. I see a lot of people with his profile pictures, my comments and stuff. And he was saying he thinks Xanax is a true gateway drug rather than marijuana. Well, I mean, yeah, if you take Xanax first, that's definitely a true gateway drug. I mean, that's the gateway into hell right there. But I do think marijuana does, like, it's not specifically a gateway drug, but I do think it leads to other things. And I don't think marijuana is completely safe. I think it's safe if that's all you're doing and you're not doing it a lot, like Snoop Dogg. I don't think he's doing it safely. I don't think Willie Nelson was doing it safely. But if you smoke like a little bit, like a bowl or something, or a couple bowls per day, I don't think that's going to cause any harms. Although you got to worry about like the smoke inhalation in your lungs, because it's still smoke. You know, there's still smoke inside your lungs. So like you still got to worry about that. So if you do like edibles or something every once in a while, I don't know. But yeah, weed is very tricky to be talking about. Yeah, 4 times 37.5 grams. That's probably how some people are probably doing it. I have kratom, but it's 3 years old powder. Is it still safe? It wouldn't be safe if it was expired in the future. I wanted to try cigarettes or Zins, though. I've heard nicotine can help with ADHD. Yeah, but then you'll get addicted to it. Shout out my boy Goblin. Yeah. What about ketamine made you feel bad? Well, I don't know if you probably came in late. It just made me feel like I was gonna die. Like I felt like I was gonna like my heart started beating really fast. I started sweating everywhere. I started walking around the hotel room, and I just thought I had a huge panic attack. Like I thought I was literally gonna die right there. Like I started thinking of Matthew Perry in the hot tub, how he died from ketamine, and like I just had all these things like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna die from this ketamine in a hotel room, and I don't know what's gonna happen though, but I'm gonna die. I just felt like I was gonna die. That's why I don't like it. It just felt like I was gonna fucking die, and I was gonna be in that hotel room, and someone was gonna find me, and yeah. Is a snort? Is it safe to snort 2CB? Never done it, but I heard it has a terrible drip, so I wouldn't do it. The only 2CB I've done has been pure crystals. So I haven't really done the actual, like, there's ones that come in like ecstasy pill kind of things. I've never done that. But yeah, I wouldn't snort it. I would take it orally. I don't really like snorting things at all. I think snorting things are terrible. What are your thoughts on doing nitrous? Never done it, and I don't think it's a good thing. There's a lot of drugs I don't like. The only drugs I really want to promote are shrooms, but not a lot. I do like shrooms though. Shrooms are a lot of fun when they were affecting me really well, but I think mixing with the Kratom Withdrawal, it really negatively affected me. That's why I can't do it right now, but hopefully when my Kratom withdrawals are over, I can stop. But yeah, so I've been clean for almost 4 weeks now, but the withdrawal symptoms are horrible. I said to pull out my phone because I got a check mark next to all the symptoms I have for it. Luckily, I don't have every single symptom, but I have about like 90% of them. So yeah. So basically, I don't even know if I have jerky movements of the limbs. I didn't check mark it, but I feel like it probably does happen. Disturbed sleep. My sleep has been very disturbed. I've been waking up every 2 hours and been awake for like another 30 minutes to an hour, so I'm not getting as much sleep as I want to. But luckily at the hospital, I did get prescribed clonidine, and it's making me very tired a lot, so I've been sleeping very well from that the past 2 days. I went to the hospital Friday, and yeah, so we're there, but my mental state was not there. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, the disturbed sleep has really been affecting me. Loss of appetite. I usually like to eat a lot. Like I'm a big like 2 to 3 meal a day guy. I like to eat big, but like recently, at least, well, past 2 days, I've been eating a lot better. I've been eating more. But during the terrible withdrawals, I was barely eating once a day. Like I could barely eat a meal because I was getting panic attacks and everything. And having a panic attack can really stop you from eating because you just don't want to do anything, and you just can't eat. You can't do nothing, and you just want to die. You don't want to die because panic attacks make you afraid of like you are dying, so it doesn't want you to. But like, just eating felt like, this is how eating made me feel. Eating made me feel like I was being forced to, like I had to force be eating stuff, and it was so hard, but I knew I had to get it down because if I didn't get food in my system, I was just gonna feel worse. And just drinking water too has been really hard for me recently. Because I don't know why, but like I used to just love water, but now it's just like, I should probably grab one pretty soon here. But I do have a beer. And you may be wondering why I'm not doing Kratom, but I'm also drinking beer at the same time. Like it's a very weird thing I got going on here. Just don't even judge it. I mean, you can judge it if you want. I don't care. But that's just how I am. That's just what it's like. I've always been drinking Miller High Lifes. Like it's just not, at this point, it's for the taste and not even for the feeling, because I just love the taste of beer. But yeah, my loss of appetite has been terrible. I have been a little nausea. They gave me something for nausea. I'm not going to take it because I'm not like really that nauseous. It's called Zofran, ondansetron. I don't know how to pronounce it. Ondansetron ODT 4 milligram tablets. I'm not going to take it though. That's a huge ass pill bottle though. It may cause headache, may cause constipation. I'm not looking to have constipation, dude, because I love to shit. Shitting is one of my favorite things to do. So I didn't check mark the vomiting or abdominal pain and cramping, thank God. Cravings, of course, cravings happen. Like I haven't been craving it every single day, but when I do, it's like, oh my God, I really need this shit. Watery eyes, my eyes get fucking watery as hell. Runny nose, my nose, especially when I yawn, like my nose runs, my eyes get watery. But yeah, no, it gets bad with the runny nose. Hot flashes a little bit, like I start to feel very like hot in my whole body. Sweating is a big problem. I sweat a lot, especially during sleep. Like I sleep in 62 degree house with the fan on in my room, and I sweat my ass off at night. It's really terrible. Let's see here. Oh, we got a lot of comments here. Let me see. Let me just go over these really quickly. Hey, from Scotland. Love your videos, brother. Thank you, Scotland. I vape bud with my packs and cards. Cannabis and Nick are my only vices. Nitrous is crash dummy activity. Yeah. Does it work orally? Yeah. Is this a Q&A section? Yeah. What you withdrawal from? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not withdrawing from that. Okay. Was addicted to alcohol, diphenhydramine, dextromethorphan. I'm 2 years sober next week. There's hope, brother. Really is brighter on the other side. Thank you. I appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad for you. 2 years is a long time. But we always got to remember, just because you 2 years sober doesn't mean you're not addicted still, because we still are. We're still technically addicts, but we're just not taking it, you know? That mechanical eating, yuck. Yoga and stretch when you can, brother. Yeah, I might start yoga or some meditation. I don't drink, but I love 60-minute IPA, or not minute. How do you? Hey, Ozzy, be careful. How do you stop yourself from having a bad trip? Yeah, no, it's really hard to stop. You just got to get your mindset out of it. I love Zofran for panic attacks and IBS. Okay, yeah, that's probably good for IBS. Zofran has saved my GERD ass in the past. LMFAO. Well, you have GERD too. One of my friends has it. Ondansetron. Yeah, is that? Well, there's an A N. It's Ondansetron. Ondansetron. Pantoprazole is pretty good. Let's see what that is. Is that okay, yeah. I don't know. Should I take it? I mean, I don't feel sick though. That's the thing. Like, I don't feel sick with it. Crazy, it's 4 weeks and you're still going through this. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it's still suffering. Today has been a better day. The past couple days have definitely been better. Ever since I left the hospital, I really think the clonidine is helping. But yeah, no, it's when you're doing so much, it's crazy. It is really crazy. I thought you said DEA at first. I was like, DEA approved meditation and yoga. Yeah, that would be pretty cool if the DEA could approve it. But yeah, no, I approve it too. I think I should do it. Battled a DXM addiction for a long time, got free. I'm still addicted, but I haven't taken it in almost 2 years. That's good. Yeah, just don't ever take it. Oh, dude, 100%. I'll always be an addict. I'm just not an active addict. We'll never be fixed. Yeah, that's the problem. We'll never be fixed, but at least we can control our problems. And yeah, ever think about going to a meeting? I thought about it a little bit, but I figured, like, yeah, I'm going for Kratom. Other people are going for alcohol, heroin, fentanyl, and here's this dumbass going for Kratom. Got addicted to Kratom like a fucking dumbass tool. I tried to quit vaping, made it months. The withdrawal is a bitch. I switched to cigarettes 2 a day to try and stop vaping. I smoked 86 in the last month and feel gross. 86 in the last month, though, is that like how many? That's how many per day? That's like 2.75, maybe around there. I guess that's not terrible. Almost 3 cigarettes a day, but it's still not good for sure. Yeah, no, I wouldn't take Zofran unless you're actively nauseous. Thank you for that, because I was like, yeah. Random non-drug question: what do you think about electric vehicles? I think they're okay. I wouldn't be opposed to having one. Is this live? Yes, it is. I might write a trip report for my Xanax withdrawal psychosis. It'll be about 100,000 words. Shit, we'll take it. Just be sure to go to my subreddit and yeah, because you got to get approved now for it. But yeah, let's go back to my symptoms that I have since I got through all that. Tremors is really bad. I get very shaky now. Like, the shakes are very horrible. But it gets bad. Like, I don't know. It's like a regular withdrawal, I don't think if I was doing as much, it wouldn't be as bad. Like, it probably would have ended by now. But since I was doing 60 plus grams per day, I think that's why it really negatively affected me. Because yeah, it can be very, very bad that way. And then this is the restlessness is what the number one symptom I have. Like, I mean, restlessness is horrible. Restless leg syndrome too. Like, I was taking every time I was taking a shit at this hotel, and when I got home, I thought it was just the hotel, but it was just me. I just didn't want to stop moving my legs. I just kept on shaking up and down. Like, I was on my phone. My phone was kind of shaking in my hand, just jumping in the air a little bit. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But yeah, restlessness with Kratom is horrible. It's the worst thing ever. I cannot get comfortable. That's another thing with the shrooms, why I think it's negatively affected me. Because the restlessness. Usually with shrooms, I can at least get comfortable somewhere. I can actually have a good time. Or, if I could walk around and I have to walk around and talk to somebody or something. I can't, being alone on shrooms now has been negatively affecting me. But the restlessness just is horrible. Anyone who has never experienced it, just God bless you, man. I remember I always wondered what it was like. I always thought about, people experience restlessness a lot, but not me. I've never had that before. I've been resting. I've been resting a lot, but luckily the past couple days haven't had it as bad. I think it is going down, so I think after a month, I think I'll be fine with this clonidine and everything. I should probably take one right now, because it says to take 3 a day. Took 1 in the morning. Yeah, needed for high blood pressure. That's the thing. This is for high blood pressure, but it's also a sedative. Yeah, that clonidine has definitely been helping, and it has been helping a lot, but it's been helping me go to sleep, for sure. So that's what I like about it. A couple more symptoms to go. You got like I check mark restlessness 1, 2, 3, 5 times. So yeah, I check mark everything once except for restlessness was the worst. That's a terrible feeling, dude. It's a real terrible feeling. Anger, kratom, a side effect of kratom is also when after you do it, you get angry. And that's another thing. I definitely wasn't that angry, but I definitely have some anger. Depressed mood, I should have check marked that more than once. That's probably the worst side effect, honestly, other than the restlessness. Depressed mood is just like what I was saying before, how I just wanted to die. I didn't care about life. Maybe some anhedonia has been taking place, but I think it was just full-on depression taking over. Like I just don't want to get out of bed, even though I'm not even comfortable in bed when I was restless and stuff. Because I know if I got up, I'd have to do something, and I didn't feel like doing anything. I just felt like crying and sleeping in my bed and just hoping that everything would end and I could just like relax. But I can't. Tension, I'm very tense about everything. Like I'm on edge, I'm paranoid about stuff, and then sadness, that goes in with the depression, I think. But yeah, it's just, you feel, it's not even, I don't even feel sad. I just feel like nothing, that's what depression is. You feel nothing for it. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Sorry, I have to message this person again. Did you... Alright, let's see what people are saying here. Avalon, join the Discord and share your report there. I'd like to hear it. Yeah, there's a report section in there. I'm not going to read them from that section, but if you can get started from there, you can get what people say, and yeah. How do I go around potentially sending you a personal trip report? I have a good one. This one specifically is the one that got me clean. I really think it can help people. Yeah, just go to my subreddit. I have to approve you. Just go into reddit.com/r/trip-reports-TFTT, and you'll see it there, so go look it up. Be careful with clonidine and alcohol. Yeah, no, trust me, I looked it up. I saw the interactions with it. How much psychosis do you want? We want a whole bunch. Luckily, I haven't gone through psychosis, so that's good. Irritability was killer, which is why I stopped taking it. Yeah, irritability sucks on it. It's really like you just fucking feel that the whole time, especially after your doses. Like when you first take it, I realized that if I took something and something anxiety-inducing happened and I got a panic attack, I got a really bad panic attack on Kratom. Like it would just be really horrible, especially if I was doing the higher dosages. But after the fact, after you come down, you kind of feel angry. You just feel fed up with the world, and that's the part. But that happens during the kratom taking it, not the withdrawals. Like for me, I guess some people probably get angry from it. Not for me personally. I probably shouldn't have checked that one so much because I'm not very angry. I'm just mad at myself a little bit. But yeah. Depression was my biggest kratom withdrawal symptom. I remember sobbing on the toilet, feeling like a walking corpse, no life. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. It took me about 18 months to recover from my psychotic break. Damn, that sucks, dude. I really hope it doesn't take me that long. I don't think it will, but you never know. I mean, I at least the past couple days have been a little bit better. I think going to the hospital was a really good decision on my part. People were telling me not to go, but I just felt like I had to. My psychiatrist said to, so yeah. I'm gonna listen to her. She's a doctor, and she surprisingly knew what kratom was. Like, there's some psychiatrists, therapists out there who don't know. Most of them don't know what kratom is, and that's a problem. Like, people need to know about it. Like, when I went to the hospital the other day, they actually knew about it. Like, I was telling them I went through withdrawal, and it was actually pretty embarrassing because the woman that took me in, not the nurse, but the woman that takes your high blood pressure at the beginning, that person, the assistant or whatever, she went to my school, and she was in my grade, and I had to tell her about it, but like, I was to the point where I did not care. If I was like on kratom and I went there, I would have been like, all right, I gotta lie a little bit here, but I was just being upfront because I don't care. But yeah, I'm glad I went. I'm glad my psychiatrist knows how bad, like, she knew as soon as I told her. I said, I've never told her this before. I told her the last meeting we had, and then I have another appointment Tuesday with her to check up on it. And I told her about all my kratom usage. I never told her about it in the past, but when I told her I was actually going on kratom withdrawal for 3.5 weeks at that time, I just saw her in the peripheral, because I don't like to stare at my psychiatrist when I'm talking. I like to look up in the air while I'm thinking, like I'm doing that right now. But I can just see in my peripheral vision that she was just nodding her head and going like, oh no, oh God, you can't be doing that. So yeah, it's she knew about it. She knows it's dangerous. And that was really helpful to me, actually, because she actually knows what it's like. She knows it's dangerous. So if you have a psychiatrist that doesn't know what Kratom is, and you have going through withdrawal, like, I don't know how many people are addicted to Kratom that are going to a psychiatrist in this live right now. I don't know who's doing that. There's probably, like, I'm the only person, maybe a couple others, but they need to know what it's about, or they can't treat you. That's why I feel very comfortable. I feel like she's gonna be able to treat me with it. I'm still taking the Abilify. We're going back down to 2 milligrams pretty soon, and then the Lexapro, of course. It was funny because when I first started the withdrawals, I was great. I felt amazing. Like, I wanted to just experience life, and I didn't feel anything bad. And then once 4th of July came around, that's when my back started hurting, and the back problems were really bad. But like now, luckily, my back problems aren't bad anymore, but they were for the first week or so. Like, oh my God, they were horrible. And that mixed with the restlessness could not lay down for the life of me, dude. It was just the first week, after the first 2 days, the first week and a half, 2 weeks were the worst for sure. It definitely has calmed down a little bit right now, especially, like I said, the past couple days have been a lot better. But yeah. Psychosis is the worst. I've only ever experienced it once, and I would never want to again. And my heart goes out to people who suffer with psychotic disorders. Yeah, me too. Shout out, people that have to suffer through that. It's just fucking horrible. It's really, really sucks. That shit ain't no joke. I had psychosis and saw cyclist shadows when I drove my car. Oh God. Addiction is like demon possession. It really is. That's a good analogy. I blame the weed. Yeah, weed can cause it. I don't think weed is the most demonic drug on the planet, but I think it's very underrated as a demonic drug. Yeah, I quit weed, smoked for 16 years, and quit a month ago, and have been having some withdrawal effects, depression and stuff, but no physical withdrawals besides anxiety attacks here and there. Yeah, that's good. See, I don't think that's the problem. Like, that's the good thing about weed, is that it doesn't, like, you won't have too many bad side effects, like compared to like a Kratom or something like that. But yeah, no, weed, 16 years, that's a long time to quit from. So yeah, I'm proud of you for that. Good job. I began taking Kratom lately every work day, just 1 to 2 grams, maybe 5 times a week for the stimulating effect. Should I take breaks? Honestly, you're at a good dose, I'd say. 1 to 2 grams is not a lot at all. I think you're probably fine. I just don't want you to take more. Don't take any more than that. If you're feeling good from it, then don't go overboard with it. Don't start going to 3, because once you go to 3, you're going to go to 4, and then you're going to go to 5, and then you're going to go to 10, and then you're going to go to 15, and then you're going to go to 20, and then you're going to go to 50, and then you're going to go to 70, and then you're going to go to 100, and then you're going to want to kill yourself. So yeah, just keep it at that. If you keep doing it, just keep doing it like that. But don't go over that. I think if I was doing it like that, I wouldn't have a problem. And I feel like that's good. But taking breaks, I think, if you do it 5 times a week, that's really not a lot. So you're doing 5 to 10 grams a week. That's how much I was doing in one fucking extract pill, basically. So yeah, 10 grams, 1 extract pill. I was doing more than that in a week. But yeah, don't go over 2 if it's already feeling good. So yeah, I was seeing shadow puppets on the wall that would become animated like stop motion horror show. They interact with each other. Someone interact with me. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. King Kubel, yes, you're playing with fire. Yeah, you are playing with fire a little bit. But it's like, I don't know, at a safe dose like that, it's not terrible. But like, I wouldn't. Just like, don't go more than what you're doing. If you're gonna do more, just don't ever do more. Don't ever do more than that. That's why. But if you want to take less, I think that's a great idea. I think if you feel like you should take less, I think you should, because I think you shouldn't be taking it at all to begin with. But at your doses, it's not very like scary. It's not to the point like I was never doing that little amount. I was always doing at least fucking 7 grams a dose. So, or maybe not that much, but like at least 5 grams at least. But yeah, so if you're doing that, hey, I can't really hate it for it, but I don't think you should be doing it at all. But yeah, if you want to take breaks, I think you should. But yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to say because you're not doing it so much to the point where I think you'll be addicted, but you never know. That's the problem with Kratom. Like, you could get addicted from that, and that's why, like, you got to be very careful with it. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Kratom scares me. Yeah, it scares me too. Do you think your ADHD related to Kratom tolerance? My ADHD boyfriend said he never felt anything from a regular Kratom dose when he's tried it in the past. You know, it could have been, but my tolerance, I mean, my tolerance never went up. I mean, it did, of course, but like when I started taking a lot, like the 10, 15, 20 grams, like every time I did it, I wouldn't feel any different than last time. But when I started taking the ohm stuff, the 20 grams of shit, plus the other 4 or 5 grams of the jumbo capsules, and then I went to the OPMS at night, I wouldn't really feel that, but like the same dosage every time, I'd feel the same. But like if I did more and I did less the next time, I wouldn't feel it as much. But yeah, no, I really don't know. I was doing 50 grams a day at my max. I was shitting literal concrete. Yeah, no, my shits have been really weird recently. They've been cleaner, a lot cleaner. I'm happy about that. But yeah, thanks for the response. No problem. Yeah, I figured like there's some good advice in there. Like basically what I want you to get through is that don't take it if you don't feel like you have to. But if you're just doing that little amount, it's not gonna like kill you or anything. But like I still think that you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. 8 to 10 grams, 4 to 5 times a day for 3 months. The withdrawals were hell. Damn, I wish mine was like that. Well, I never did. So yeah, 4 to 5 times a day, that's a lot. See, I was doing three times a day because I like to spread it out. 3 times a day is still a lot, but like, I think a good dosage is just like, you know, if you're doing one time a day, I feel like you could survive off of that, but just doing as much as we were, like, it's just so hard to comprehend life and reality off of that. Like, it's just, it's so hard. It's so hard to do it. But yeah, luckily I've never shitted the rabbit pellets before. I never had shitting problems on Kratom. It's honestly made me shit more, I think. But yeah. I also said here, I said this kind of before already, but I said I felt like I was dying when I was on my plane to Utah. I wanted it to crash. Right now, I do not care if I die. I won't purposely kill myself or anything, but if something were to happen unexpectedly, I wouldn't care. That's the state I'm in from these withdrawals. That's why I went to the hospital, so I already went into detail with that, so I said that. My psychiatrist, I already talked about this too. My psychiatrist knows about this. It was the one who told me to go in the first place. They gave me clonidine, and it's been helping with my sleep, but my restlessness is so bad. I've never experienced anything like this. Yeah, the restlessness is still, I mean, I still have it today. Luckily not terrible, but it's still, yeah. Ozzy, I never really felt Kratom other than some anxiety relief. Yeah, when the Kratom, like, it made me feel anxiety relief until it didn't. It made me feel like I was getting anxiety from it, and that's the problem that I had. And Ozzy's just sniffing me. And also, I've gone over this before. Back like 3 years ago, I did an ad for Kratom for this company. I forgot which company it was, but I apologize for doing it. If I would have known Kratom could do this to someone, I would have never advertised it for that stupid company. How many years ago? I still feel bad, especially when my addiction came on. Yeah, so I want to private the video. I don't want to have it up there, but like I have to keep it up because they paid me money for it. They paid me a good amount too. Luckily, that's been long in the past. It doesn't have that many views. I'm not even going to tell you what video it is. You have to find it yourself. So yeah, I just felt really bad for that. But at that point in my life, Kratom was just like a drug that I thought was just got you high and didn't get you addicted or anything. I just thought it was a fun, safer thing to do than, something like an opioid or meth or cocaine or whatever. But now I realize that Kratom is just not the safest thing in the whole fucking entire world. Is definitely one of the worst, most subtle things ever. But yeah, no, so I apologize for that. If anyone fucking that, I always think about if someone actually bought it and got addicted because of me. That's what makes me feel bad, because I don't want that to happen to anyone. Hopefully no one did. If they did, if people can talk to me about it, I will try to try to make up for that. But yeah, it was a very bad decision on my part. I just was money hungry at the time when I started my YouTube, and I wanted money, and that's what I cared about, and I didn't care about what effects would have happened because if I would have known, I wish I would have known that would have happened, but yeah, my mix of me not knowing, being naive about Kratom, and then me wanting money made that ad a thing. And then yeah, so I do deeply apologize for it. I think about it a lot. I just hopefully getting it off my chest now will hopefully make me get that guilt and shit off my chest. But yeah, it sucks. If it makes you feel any better, I was hooked on Kratom and Phenibut together at the same time. No, that's how I was too. When I first started, I was doing Kratom and Phenibut a lot. I've noticed that that's a really like fun combination. But it got to the point where I was just getting tired from it, from the Kratom, from the Phenibut. Phenibut makes me have narcolepsy, dude. Weed gives me anxiety just like that. Yeah, no, it's weed gives me just paranoia, just super anxiety, like to the point where I can't even focus on anything. I just keep on thinking negative thoughts. It's kind of like a bad trip. Like I just experience a bad trip every time I smoke, and that's why I can't do it. So that makes me realize like maybe I got some problems I got to figure out. Or it just happens every single time on the weed. Like it used to never. Like I used to not care. I used to be like a worse person in high school, but I was fine in high school. But now I've become more like I feel like I've become more of a more empathetic person that can like realize and be more understanding. But I feel like being understanding is just making me feel worse because I know how many problems people are going through, and it just affects me even worse. And I feel like that's why the weed affects me really bad, because I'm just thinking of not only my problems but other people's problems. I'm taking White Vein right now, really like the energy boost, but I'm going to cut it down once I'm noticing that I want to take more, or the 1 to 2 grams are not enough a day. Just keep it. If you're noticing that you want to take more, then I would just throw it away, like right now. If you want to take more, just throw it away. You really can't. Like, I don't want you to get addicted to it, man. I really don't. Hey, bud, it's just good that you've came to that realization that you're continuing to speak out and spread awareness about it. Yeah, now that I feel like I can spread awareness about this drug, I'm glad you guys are on here. We actually had a good amount of people to listen to that. I wonder how much more I can say about that, but it's tough to say. It's tough to say because there's a lot. But I think I got into pretty good detail with it.